But yeah, so today I want to, let's see here. We don't have like an absolute ton of time to play tonight. It is midnight my time, so I don't want to stay up too late. But what I would like to do is a couple things. One, I want to see if we can get some of our seeds established a little bit. We got osmium. Let's get some of that smelting down, or made rather. I guess we don't have to smelt it when it's through mystical agriculture. So let's get that started, and then I would like to at least put a super rough outline of our farming building out, just so we kind of know what we're anticipating. We don't have to start building it today necessarily, but just get it planned a little bit. I think that's fair. We can do one building outline today. um, this is amazing. This is great. So I would also like to make one more seed. So we got this osmium that we've been doing, and that's great. Let's put this over here actually so we remember where it was. Um, Osmium now, if we look at that, what it's used for with the U key. So it takes 8 of them to make 4 ingots. So that would be 8 to 4, that'd be 32 per stack. So basically per stack of osmium essence, we should get 32 ingots, I think. Am I mathing right? Pretty sure that's right. It is right. Okay, cool. So yeah, we're pretty set there. That's amazing because this is used for a bunch of different stuff. We get to use this in silent gear. Yep, that's good. Um, we also use this in mechanism, so we're gonna have to check that out. Mechanism is a mod that, I mean, it's one of my favorite automation mods for processing ore. You can just upgrade it to be so fast and to handle so much at a time. So I absolutely love mechanism. I would love to get started on that. That's probably not going to be a today project, though. Yeah, probably not. Um, we maybe got an hour today, maybe a little more, but that's all we got. So we do have to kind of be a little bit careful with our time. But I think you can actually make, what is this? OSM I think you can actually make, yes, tools, regular tools. And this has 1024. Um, doesn't tell us what this stuff has. 6 attack damage for a pick. So it's better than an iron pick. Same speed. I don't know how the durability compares, but I would guess it's better because you need diamond to mine it, right? So I'm going to go ahead and assume that it's better. Let's see. Let's grab some sticks and make ourselves some osmium tools. Let's actually grab a bit more and make ourselves armor as well. I mean, we might as well. We have a bunch of it, right? So there's really no downside to doing this. Let's take a look at what we got actually first. We got all the normal stuff, but then we got a Paxel. Axe, pickaxe, and shovel. I mean, I think we make that, right? 3 tools in 1 slot. The Paxels are pretty great. I've used them before. So let's just go ahead and do it. They're amazing. And then we'll go ahead and make a sword. There we go. So we got our sword. Now I want the Paxel. Where is that? Here we go. We will do that. Beautiful. Now this thing can do stone, wood, dirt, all sorts of stuff. It's great. We could probably put our iron pick up on the shelf just for, just in case. Now, does osmium count as diamond tier or higher? I I don't know for sure. I would take a guess and say it probably does, but I don't know that. So, yeah, we should test that out actually. I did run out of slots on the shelf, so we're gonna go ahead and make a couple. Let's just make a couple while we're at it. Fruit basket, spice rack, like what? This is insane. I love this mod here. Handcrafted. It's so cool. You can even make plates. And look at these stairs. Oak bridge support, oak podium, rail bridge. Like, we are going to have to play with this so much later. The one thing that does worry me just a tiny little bit is that when I used to play a lot, which admittedly has been, a little bit of time, but when I used to play a lot, mods like this, where you built these items or where you could take pixels out of blocks to make them smaller, they would cause tremendous lag. So I am worried about that. I guess we'll see what happens. I don't know. I don't really know what else to do other than that. So that's what we'll do. We can probably put this up here too. There we go. We'll just put all our extra stuff up there. Heck, we got an extra hoe. Stone, but whatever. We could probably get rid of the wooden shovel, though. That's probably not worth carrying around. Whee! There we go. All right. So, let's take a look. Let's get ourselves situated here. It's a new day. Everything is beautiful. Can we put these scrolls up here? I almost cast that. Yeah, we don't want to cast it. Thankfully, you have to hold right click. I didn't even think of that, so really glad that didn't waste that. Oh man. Yeah, we could build a nice little kitchen to hold all of our kitchen utensils and stuff. This is so exciting. I'm just so excited about all of the mods here. There's just so many. Oh. Okay, we can't put that up there. Can we shift? Nope. Okay. You can stay in the chest then. Perfect. You're great. You're great in the chest. Don't even worry about it. We got more stone. We got more iron. Oh my god. This guy's done. So yeah, there's lots of stuff in there. Let's put this in here. And for now, we'll just keep our finished ores there. So why don't we actually just grab the rest of the finished ones and throw them in there for now? Just makes things super convenient. I don't want the furnace to kind of be wasting time. So we might actually quickly break down some more stuff. Get it smelting up here. So what have we got? This is all of our raw ore, I think, right? Did we clean our backpack out? Yes, we did. Okay, so what do we need here? We don't have... Let's see, we could probably fill this up with some more. I don't know how that's doing, but not great. Let's get a bunch more in here. We do have a lot of wood from this that we could turn into charcoal. As a matter of fact, why don't we just kind of preemptively do that? Yeah, we'll preemptively do that and see. Let's see. That way we have it, if we need it. Not a big deal. Then we can actually... What we could do is we could actually set up like an automated loop with one of these, right? Or with the wood. So it just kind of automatically grows the wood, cycles it through, smelts it into charcoal. That's also something we could do. I don't want to right now, but... Okay, what else do we have? Let's grab some cobble. We want a lot of cobble. And maybe we could grab some of the aluminum, some of the nickel, tin, and silver is probably good. Let's see if we can smash this stuff down. And then smelt some of that up. We're going to need another hammer. Yeah, that's okay. Another hammer coming right up. We have copper out the wazoo. And we have so many sticks. Not that many. We have some sticks. Let's get that going. Update on the cats, by the way. Quick update on them. We got some new cats yesterday for anyone who wasn't aware. I've been long time adamant about not getting pets. It's not that I don't like animals. I love animals. I think cats and dogs are awesome. And I love visiting with my neighbors' dogs and my friends' cats. But we're really busy people. And we have been historically. And, we're a little less busy these days. But super, super busy. And I just genuinely don't think it would be fair to the animal for us to be, gone or busy all the time. And they're a lot of work. They make messes. You got to train them. Cats scratch your furniture. And I just didn't want to deal with that, if we're being honest. Now, it's okay, though. We're going to sleep again. Now things are slowing down a little bit in life. We have more time. My kids are a little bit older, so they can learn a little bit about responsibility, taking care of the cats. Plus, they were so happy. I mean, ridiculously happy. They loved it. Okay, I gotta get used to not switching the weapon out when I'm doing different stuff. Now, I want to see if you can get an extra seed from this. I haven't so far. When you take the mystical agriculture out of the ground, I know you can't get an extra seed when you grow it in the botany pots, but I thought you could if you did it in the sorry, I got distracted. If you did it in the ground. And I haven't gotten one yet. I've only harvested maybe 15, 20-ish. So it's definitely a possibility that I've just been unlucky so far, because I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be a super rare thing. But I also don't know for sure. So that's, one of those things. Okay, I think we're going to go at like this level or this level. I don't know which yet. But until we know, let's just start outlining it on whatever level we just happen to be on. So I kind of want this one to be like right here-ish. So let's just say that's a back corner. And we're just going to very, very roughly do a quick outline. So I shouldn't have started with the back. We should start with the front, but whatever. So when you walk into this building, I think that you should... Okay, let's think. You walk into the building. Vein Miner's amazing. You walk into the building, and there's got to be basically a bunch of plants. Now, we have to get to each plant pot as we need to swap them out to build them. But we probably... we don't need water sources or anything like that. So, if we do rows, that should work. Because we don't have water sources to worry about, the rows don't necessarily have a limit to how big they can be. Okay. But up and down is where we're going to be more limited. So this obviously might be a different height. But if we say, we have the ground here, and here's our walls, this dirt will be... so in the ground, we'll actually have a hole in it because we're going to need to bring cables in from the inventory management system. So there's cables there. There's going to be we don't need coarse dirt. There's going to be a barrel here. I don't know if the barrel's necessary, to be honest, but it's nice for aesthetics, even if it's not. And then the botany pot. And then the botany pot needs a block overhead to function, I'm pretty sure. And then we can have the ceiling, which can have lights in it and stuff, right? So then from there, we need we're going to say a 2-block gap and then the floor. I don't know if we need a 2-block gap, if we're being honest, because I don't know what cabling system we're going to use yet. And some of the cabling systems, you can actually run cross cables, different cable types through the same block. So if we use one of those, then, we don't need crisscrosses. Or if we just plan it out well enough, we won't need the crisscrosses either, probably. But let's be honest, it's me. So we're not going to plan it out perfect. So, yeah. Let's count on that being the right height. And then let's just, for the sake of argument, take this back just a little bit more. I don't know what height this is going to be at, but, we'll see what happens. Now, as far as depth of the building goes, so the upper levels can be pretty straightforward. They don't need any complication. But the bottom level, we have to fit some stuff in. I think we need, if I remember correctly, we need these altars, right? And then I think there's a second altar that we need as well. So I'm pretty sure we need to make space for both of these. So we need space for that. We need space for seed storage and for doing the crystals and all that stuff. So we're going to need a little bit of room downstairs. And then I want to make it, even though at some point we will get a jetpack, right? We'll be flying around like a bird. We're not going to have that for a while, and I don't want to have to rely on that once we have it. So we're going to have to build stairs for getting up top. So we could build the stairs right in the back, because this isn't a building we're going to visit very often. This is like a build it once and come back every once in a while as we need to add capacity or change seeds out. So we're not going to be here a lot. So, okay, let's think. And we're going to have 4 or 5 stories, whatever it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We could do like a row of a dozen, maybe. That could work, huh? Then, if we did a dozen, and then you would have multiple rows, right? So they would go kind of like this. So we'd have multiple rows, and then how many rows would we have? So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 rows, maybe? I'm just making these numbers up. But we have to remember, whatever number we settle with, the middle is going to actually be missing. So if we do 7, I think we should do more than 7. Let's do 8 rows, because I just feel like that works out a little bit better. I don't know why. I'm making this up as I go, okay? Don't judge me. So, okay, here we go. So that'll be 4 rows on each side. This is going to be a lot of seeds, by the way. There we go. So then the edge of the building would be right here. Something like that. And then you have your row right here to get into the back. And then what we would do is we would just leave, this is actually exactly perfect. We would just leave a little bit of blocks up here in the front for when we come in. And then we would leave the row down the middle open. Run down, and then there would be a staircase here. And I think just for simplicity's sake, we would make that extrude from the building. Right? I think that would be a good plan. I think so. I also think we're probably going to be building this at least one layer up. Just judging by what's here and everything. So, you know, this is by no means final. But it's a rough outline. Yeah, I think this would work nice. And then basically what we'll do is we'll just tweak this. So we would have our altars, right? So if this is the wall, get out of my way, seeds or grass. If this is the wall here, we would just tweak the downstairs. So there'd be less or no seeds down here, honestly. And then this would kind of look like this, right? So we have our, we'll say this is our walkway. So we want to keep 3 blocks unobstructed while we're going down the center. And then we would have, should be a center point to this, right? And then, yeah, the altar would be like this. So here's the altar outline. Really bugs me if they're not the same height, so we're going to do that. But yeah, altar, boom. Love it. So we got that. That's pretty good. I think this will work fine. That was simple. And then in the back, we just kind of do a staircase. I don't know what size that'll be. But something along the lines of this to go upstairs. And then when we get upstairs, we would basically reverse the design. So we'd have this gap on this side of the floor, and then it would just be more rows of plants. And there's going to be a lot of them, okay? There's going to be so many. And this will be our starter ore base for getting resources. We're going to need so many more. Let's go to sleep. It's getting dark. Boy, you can tell I'm tired. My voice is doing all sorts of crazy stuff. Get rid of all these seeds. Then let's get rid of all of these guys. Perfect. Ooh, some acacia saplings. I don't know what it is about acacia, but I just love the look of that wood. It looks so cool. Okay, we'll throw this stuff in here, throw that in there, throw the sticks in our backpack. All right, check number 1. We made some progress. We got some of that smelting. That's good. Now the other thing I would like to do is get at least 1 ore going. And then we'll have to also pick our blocks that we're going to build with. We're obviously not going to build out of, regular cobblestone. We do have the chisel mod. We actually have a chisel at the base. So we might do chiseled cobblestone. Could look good potentially. And is a really good starter. But we're definitely not going to do just like vanilla cobblestone.